Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie No and I'm a certified life and mindset coach. Today I wanted to talk about Mother's Day disappointment. So it happens, after almost a decade of being a mom. I think in my early days of motherhood, I really felt this deeply. When your kid is really young, like a baby, it's not like they're going to school and making crafts and all these things, right? So you're kind of leaning in on this expectation, like, my husband's gonna make it extra special for me, and we're gonna do all these fun things. But what ends up happening is actually you still have to honor your mom and probably your husband's mom. And therefore now you have this extra mental load of trying to make Mother's Day special. It becomes about honoring your mom or your husband's mom, and you kind of get lost in the shuffle. What I'm starting to realize after all this time, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a part of the problem. So just hear me out, ladies. I think that sometimes we really have to be honest and kind of reevaluate our expectations. If you have felt this past Mother's Day and you kind of feel yourself feeling down and a little disappointed in how things panned out or how they went down, I want you to really sit with those feelings and allow yourself to be disappointed. Allow yourself to feel sad. Allow yourself to be upset. Most of the times we like to avoid, or we like to talk ourselves out of it, or we like to distract ourselves from feeling whatever it is that we're feeling. But there's that famous saying of what you resist persists. Okay, so first things first, you really need to just be able to sit and process those feelings, and don't get down on yourself. Give yourself that compassion and grace. It's understandable. Being a mom is hard. Every day is hard. And so when you think of Mother's Day, you're like, just one day. I just want one day to be honored. I just want one day to relax. I just want one day to feel special. Yeah, so it makes sense that if the day didn't live up to your expectations, there would be a sense of sadness, disappointment, anger, right? So I'm going to go back to why I will take partial responsibility. So in my head, I'm like, oh, this would be so fun if we had reservations for brunch. Maybe there's a little arts and crafts, something cute, like maybe for the baby doing a little handprint or footprint artwork. And, you just kind of like have these expectations, flowers, a gift. I know you're thinking, my husband wouldn't do these things. And you're right, mine would not as well. Because guess what? These ideas of the arts and crafts, the gift, all these things, those are my ideas. Those are my thoughts, right? It is not my husband's thoughts. And his idea of fun or a gift, it is not arts and crafts with my baby's hand, right? So that's where I'm talking about, where does your expectations align with reality? Meaning, was it so far-fetched? Because I know my husband and I know that doesn't even align with any idea that he might have, right? But back in my early days, yes, okay, my imagination and my expectations ran wild. But I'm starting to learn that, look, I'm not saying it's wrong to want these things. I'm not saying it's wrong to expect these things. But I think where we run into trouble is where these expectations are not met, right? So let's say I wanted this craft. I'm going to have to communicate that to my husband because he doesn't have the same ideas as I do for gifts or an idea of fun crafts with kids. That's not on his radar. He has his strengths and he has his own ideas. Maybe he's going to take the kids to the park. That's his idea of giving me a break and relaxing. The point being is we have to check ourselves and see, was our expectations kind of out there? Was it even in the realm of a possibility? So it's kind of hard, right? If somebody expects something from you and you're like, I didn't know, I'm not a mind reader. It's kind of the same thing, but we just don't want to say it because after all, it's Mother's Day. I don't want to take responsibility. But moving forward to deal with this disappointment, I want you to set yourself up for a win. I don't want you to set yourself up for failure or disappointment. I want you to be honest. If there are certain things that you want for Mother's Day that would make you feel special and make you feel loved and make you feel seen, whatever it is, there's no shame. I think you should just put it out there, let your husband know, your partner, whoever, and let them know. And be like, hey, look, for Mother's Day, I would really love to XYZ, whether it's I would love to spend time with the kids and go to brunch, or I would love a night away. I would love a spa day and a day with my girlfriends, and whatever you need and want, ask for it, right? I always tell my kids, if you don't ask, you do not receive. So you might as well ask and throw it out there and see what happens. A part of the problem is not that we have the expectations, but the fact that we didn't communicate them, right? And I think early on in my motherhood journey, I always felt this like, well, he should know, or well, how can he not know? And this is where the mindset work comes in, because as soon as something doesn't happen to what we imagine it to be like or what we wanted it to be like, that's where the storytelling begins, as I like to call it. It's where you default to what you usually tell yourself. So typically, if things kind of went sideways and let's just say Mother's Day was a bust. I've had one of those, right? Where it's like nothing was planned. You didn't go to brunch. You didn't even get a card. And the day just went by. You celebrated your moms because you did the work, but there was really no celebration of you. And I get it. You're upset. You're hurt. But this is where the storytelling comes in. I personally used to do the nobody cares. My husband doesn't care about what I do. Nobody loves me. Nobody appreciates what I do. Motherhood is a thankless job. Pick any one of these stories. Which one is it for you? And when you pick one of these storylines, that's what plays on repeat. That's where your brain focuses. And now you're just in this cycle of nobody cares, nobody appreciates me. And now, on top of not feeling great because things didn't go as planned, there's this extra layer of not feeling great, right? You're putting this extra storyline into play, which makes you feel even worse. So this is where the mindset work comes in. It's really trying to stop, pause, and take a second to really think about, okay, what am I telling myself right now? And is that true? Like, is it true that nobody loves me? Is it true that they don't care what I do for them? Probably not. But in the moment, it feels very true, right? So that's what I mean about if you're feeling disappointed, sad, upset, take that moment for yourself and really process those feelings. But don't let your mind just run wild with these stories, because that's where additional problems occur, right? So let's say you continue down this storyline and this path of nobody cares, they don't love me, they don't appreciate me, and you keep replaying this story in your head. I mean, how do you think you're going to show up in the following days after? Probably not that great of a mother, not that great of a wife, or not that great of a partner. So this is why I want you to take that time to process your disappointment, your feelings, and just give yourself some compassion. It makes sense that you want to feel special and seen on Mother's Day. So don't judge yourself, don't shame yourself, just sit with your feelings and kind of work through that process. And when you feel the story popping up in your head about nobody cares, motherhood is a thankless job, they don't love me, I want you to really stop and push back on that story. Is it true? How can it not be true? I hope this was helpful. And this is just a reminder that, you can take charge of how you want to feel. So next Mother's Day, or this Mother's Day, if you had a terrible one or you thought it wasn't that great, just do a redo. Just look at the calendar, find another day and say, hey, look, this is my Mother's Day. We're going to do a redo. And if you need any ideas of what to do to celebrate yourself, feel free to message me or comment here, and I will give you a ton of ideas to celebrate you as a mom. I want you to take control, and for next Mother's Day, keep that in mind. It's not wrong to have expectations, but where we do get in trouble is if we don't communicate it clearly and then we don't get those met. So if you want a certain thing, a certain event, a certain gift, a card, whatever your idea is, communicate it, put it out there, and see what happens. And or you can make yourself feel special and take some time for yourself. But if you like this content, if you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, thanks. Bye.